it was a birthday trip for my 19th birthday. Oh, I just broke my pen. That's a shame. For my 19th birthday. Here, let me switch this to just chatting for now, because I feel like I'm lying. Okay, so it was my 19th birthday. It was on my birthday, which I won't tell you guys, but it was the day before my birthday. At midnight of that night, I was gonna turn 19. So we got all our trucks and we went out there. Persuasion successful. And we got out there, we'll say at like noon, something like that. It was me and like 6 dudes and probably 6 or 7 girls, something like that. And we all got there and we didn't have a lot of wood. Like, we came out there with not a lot of wood. We brought a chainsaw to cut down some dead trees. But we couldn't really find very many dead trees. They were like pretty fucking far down the road if you wanted to find the dead trees. So we kind of like, I guess, half gave up. Like, I don't know. We were gonna go later, but you know, we had all started drinking, so we had enough wood for that night, but that was it. And this guy comes up, and we immediately all think, "Oh shit, this is a forest ranger." Right? And, you know, we're all drinking, so we don't really want to talk to a forest ranger. But he comes up, and he pokes us out of the window, and he immediately goes, hello, does anybody want to come with me to get some wood? I'm like, oh shit. Really? That's perfect. Like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I have the chainsaw, I just need some more muscle, but we will give you half of whatever we bring, so long as you help. And I'm like, fucking perfect. So I get up, and I'm with my girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, fucking let's go, perfect, awesome. And I look at all my buddies, and I go, hey, you guys coming with? And they're like, fuck no, we're not going with this random fucking French dude who came. And I'm like, seriously, you guys are gonna make me go alone, even though we all don't have enough wood, and we're not gonna go get any, so this trip is gonna suck if we don't come back. So anyway, I go, and as I'm talking to this guy in the car, I have this deer knife. So let's say that it's probably the handle was maybe 5 inches, and then the blade was like 10, something like that. A big ass deer knife. So I bring that. I've got it on my hip. I've got this holster, so I've got it on my hip with me. And while we're driving down there, I asked this guy, oh, what do you do? And I explained to him, I speak French as well. So he's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, what do you do? And he goes, oh, I'm in the army. And I'm like, oh, fuck. If this guy wanted to murder me, I'm fucking murdered. So I immediately like grip my blade and my knife, or my hand and my blade. And I'm just holding onto it the whole time. And we go for a while. Like, we're driving down this deserted road. So like my camp was a good hour and a half away from civilization. Then we took a dirt trail that nobody had touched, like it was brand fresh new snow, another 25-30 minutes down the road. So I'm starting to get scared now. Like, I'm straight up getting scared. Like, I'm talking to him the whole time, I'm asking about his wife and all that shit, and I'm like, okay, whatever, what are you gonna do? Like, try and survive. If you can, try and survive. If he tries anything, be dirty. Be dirty, but survive. Be dirty, but survive. That's what I was thinking the whole time. And eventually we pull over, and he gets the chainsaw out, and I'm gripping my knife. I'm white knuckling my knife. I'm terrified, right? And he starts walking through, and it's like 3 or 4 feet of deep fucking snow. Deep fucking snow. So I'm like, we're both trudging through here, and we get to a really good tree, and he starts to cut down the tree, just like normal, and he cuts it into sections, and we both carry it back, and I make sure that I'm always behind him. No matter what, I'm never in front of him so that he's behind me, right? So I always make sure that I'm always behind him. And I'm carrying these big ass things of wood, right? So we bring it to the truck, it's all good. We go to another tree, we do it 3 or 4 times. The truck is basically fucking filled to the brim at this point. And then we're looking for a place to turn around, and at this point, the snow hasn't been touched in like probably 2 or 3 snowfalls by the time we get to this point, because nobody's gone this far down the road. So it hasn't been touched in 2 or 3 snowfalls, and we get stuck. And I'm only wearing a hoodie and a pair of sweatpants. These guys are wearing snow pants and snow gear and hats and everything, right? I'm not even wearing a hat or gloves. I'm wearing nothing. I'm just wearing a hoodie and pants and sweatpants. Like sweatpants I think is the word. So we try and get ourselves out, and it's like probably like 9 p.m. when like 8 p.m. when we initially get stuck. So it's getting a little scary, right? We get stuck, and me and him are trying, and we're trying, and we're trying, and we're trying, and it's like, hey Spanish, we're telling stories. You missed one that got all the boys riled up. Fuck. I lost it. What was I saying? Yeah, so it's like 9 p.m. We're trying to get this truck unstuck for like probably 3 hours. We use straps, we use wood, we use everything to get this shit out. We're stuck as fuck, right? And my phone has now died. We didn't have any cell signal anyway, so even if I wanted to call my buddies, I couldn't do it. And we drove in a truck pretty fast, like 30 kilometers an hour, for like 25-30 minutes up huge hills and down big hills, like crazy terrain to get here, right? So it's getting close to 11 o'clock, something like that, and we finally give up, and we're like, okay, we're gonna have to walk. And it's freezing. It's like probably negative 27, something like that, and I'm wearing a hoodie and sweatpants. And keep in mind, I've been trying to unstuck this, or to get this truck unstuck for 3 hours. So that means I've been rolling around in the snow. So I'm not only wearing shitty clothes, I'm also soaking wet in negative 27. So they tell me, yeah, we're gonna have to start walking. I'm like, fuck, like this is gonna be the worst walk of my entire life. And my phone's dead, so I don't have a light, and it's pitch black, and all I can think is, I still don't know if they're gonna kill me. Like, this truck might, well, no, I knew at this point that the truck was stuck as fuck. Like, I knew at this point that it was stuck. Right. Oh, wait, let me write this down. I woke up during surgery on my arm a year ago and looked over and saw my flesh pinned back while they were working on my... That's fucked. Oh my god. That is terrifying. Okay, so they give me one of their phones, and that's when I finally, like, oh my god, thank god. They gave me their phone. I don't think they're gonna kill me, right? So I finally take like a breath. I'm like, okay, thank god. So we start walking, and we're all walking together, and then we're walking for maybe 5-10 minutes, and they both go, shit, I forgot my, I don't know, it might have been a flashlight or something like that, or a phone or whatever. I forgot my phone in the truck. I gotta go get it. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I am freezing fucking cold. I don't know if I'm gonna make it if we have to turn back. And they're just like, okay, keep the phone. I'll see you in the morning. I'll come to your campsite when we get there. And I'm like, okay. So I'm walking, and I'm watching the time the whole time. And I started this walk probably at around 11 o'clock. And I'm looking at the time, 11:20, 11:30, 11:40, 11:50, 11:55, and I'm starting to get fucking scared. I'm like, I don't remember if we took a turn, because I just went straight the whole time. Like, I thought I remembered just go straight, right? So I went straight. But while I was walking, there was multiple turns that I could have taken. So I'm walking down this road, 11:56. I'm like, holy fuck, I am stuck here. I might die in these woods. My clothes are freezing to the point where they're solid. Like, if I couldn't do this, I literally couldn't do this. It was so solid. So I keep walking straight. 12 o'clock happens, and I realize, holy fuck, I'm freezing. I'm in the middle of the woods. I'm definitely hypothermic at this time because I'm panicking. And I realize, you just turned 19, Poe. You just turned 19 years old, and you're in the middle of the woods, pretty close to death. And at this point, I've been gone from camp for about 5 hours with a man that my girlfriend doesn't know, that my best friends don't know, with some random dude who had a real big truck and offered to bring me out to the woods with a chainsaw and grab some wood. So I keep walking, because I'm not going to give up, and I'm pretty sure that I was supposed to go straight. So I keep walking, and I just keep thinking, if I walk straight, eventually I'll hit the main road, and I can probably backtrack my way to the camp from there. So I just keep walking, and I keep walking, and 1 a.m. hits, and I am freezing. And I remember thinking, I'm like, I can just lie down for 2 minutes. If I just lie down for 2 minutes, I'll warm up, and I'll be able to get up again. And I remember I read this story when I was a kid. It was about this skier in the mountains, and that's what he did. This skier, he decided, he was freezing just like I was, and he decided, I'm gonna go down for a sleep for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna get up and everything will be okay. And I remember this story and I think, that's how people die in the woods. That is what hypothermia is. They lie down and they just never wake up. You remember the story? Yeah. They lie down and they just never wake up. And that's what the story was. He lied down for a quick nap and he never woke up. So I was thinking to myself, holy shit, Poe, your brain is starting to tell you to roll over and die. And I think to myself, I won't fucking die. I won't do that to me. I won't do that to my mother. I won't do that to my girlfriend. I won't do that to my best friends on that campsite who let me go, who will blame themselves every day. 2 o'clock rolls around and I'm still walking and I'm still freezing. And every minute it's getting harder and harder to not just sit down. And at this point I'm shaking. I'm so cold, I'm shivering, I'm shaking violently, and I just keep walking. And so I start to scream because I'm terrified. I just start to scream. I just go, anybody please! Can anybody hear me please? Hoping and praying that my campsite will be able to hear me and scream back and come find me or get in a truck or come drive to me or something, and I don't hear anything back. 2:30 hits. Nothing. Yeah, or a Canadian stripper for sure. And 2:30 hits, and that's when it happens. I went down on my knees, and I was about to lay down. I was on my knees. I was ready to lie down. I had kind of accepted it. And I didn't hear any screaming. Nobody came looking for me. Well, they did, but just it was an hour or two earlier and I hadn't made it far enough. And that's when it happened. I smelled the campfire. And when I smelled the campfire, I knew if that isn't my friends, that is somebody who will help me, because I live in Canada, and no matter what, you help somebody who's close, right? You help somebody no matter what. And so I start sprinting, and the whole time I'm shrieking like a banshee. I'm going, oh my god, yes, I'm here, I'm here. And my girlfriend, I didn't realize, but I stopped looking at the time around 2 a.m. and it was -27. No human being could have stayed warm at this point. I was only wearing a hoodie and sweatpants, so I held my girlfriend, and she was crying in my arms, and we both went into the back of my car, and I stripped naked, and she held on to me, and I put the heat on as high as I could, and I obviously survived, spoiler alert. But when I got back home, I was admitted to the hospital. My hands had some pretty bad frostbite, so did my toes and the fronts of my legs. But I stayed the next day, and I stayed 2 days afterwards. So I turned 18 in the middle of the woods. I don't know if I got hypothermia, but it sure felt like it. And yeah, I survived, and it was freaky. It was freaky to say the least. But yeah,